Hey everyone, it's Emerald Blue. Thank you for clicking on my video today. Just as a reminder, everything said on this channel is simply my opinion and how I see things from my viewpoint. If you do not agree, that is okay. We can always discuss in the comments section our differences. So let's go ahead and get into this video and I hope you enjoy it. Love after Lockup. Love after Lockup. This is my review for the whole entire season of Love After Lockup because I started doing YouTube a little bit after the season already started. And I gotta get into the swing of it because I'm taking classes and I'm going to work and I'm being a mom. Sometimes I just, okay? So, Love After Lockup. So, there were 5 couples. We had Shawn and Destiny. We had John and Christiana. We had Blue Suit and Chandra. What's his name? Tyrique. We have, what was the name of the psycho? Heather and Dylan. And then we have Maurice and Jessica. Okay, let's start off with Maurice and Jessica. So they were the last couple I mentioned. So when we met Maurice and Jessica already got married while Maurice was locked up. When Maurice got released from jail, he had to go to Compton. And Jessica didn't want him to go to Compton, or they both didn't want to go to Compton. I think Jessica lives in Las Vegas, so they went to go to Las Vegas. But because when he was being released, he had put a certain address in Compton, he couldn't just go up and move to Compton. He would have to go through the process of having the address changed. So we were on this whole roller coaster of them being daredevils, riding or dying. He said, either you're with me or you ain't. That whole extra scene about them crossing the city line or the state lines of Nevada and California. So we saw that he finally got it approved and he got to live with Jessica in Las Vegas in Nevada. So they're settling in. Maurice had already met Jessica's parents. Jessica's dad gives me Trump 2020 vibes. Jessica's mom is just white woman who just wants to be, down with her child. And we find out that Jessica's sister doesn't talk to Jessica. And either her sister lives near their parent or near her. But they're really in close proximity to one another. So Jessica has her parents meet Maurice, but they're already married. They got married in prison. You know, they weren't comfortable with him being a prison bait. I don't even know if I'm using that as the right context. But prisoner, he went to jail. They're not comfortable with it. That's why her and her sister aren't talking. But she loves him, and they love one another. So we find out that Jessica's pregnant. Her whole ordeal was, you don't tell my mama and my daddy. I'm not going to tell my mama and my daddy. But of course, we saw Maurice told her dad, and she told her mom when they went dress shopping. Maurice was with the father, I think, welding. And the father gave him $1,000 to tell him to use it wisely. And that was a test for Jessica's dad to see if he was a stand-up person. But luckily enough, he bought the ring with the money. So we see them find a place. We see them decide that's where they want to go. We see her go dress shopping. They get married. Her sister was there, which was great. And they lived happily ever after. So beautiful. They got married officially in front of a court, in front of family. I don't know where Maurice's other child is. I hope he's in his daughter's life. But everything is okay from what we see with Maurice and Jessica. So bravo for them. And I hope they live happily ever after and that he gets the job. Next couple, let's go with Heather and Dylan. We did not meet Heather and Dylan at the same time we met the other couples, and in the end, we see why. Heather and Dylan were together for 5 years. After for 5 years, Heather's been there with him All we know is she went shopping for some toys while she was on the phone with Dylan. We see her go and pick him up from prison. She says that she has an apartment, but it's flooded and she can't get to it. And then they're going to go to her Aunt Diane's house. So she picks Dylan up from the prison, jailhouse. They drive over to Aunt Diane's house. Now, she gets upset that Dylan is talking to her aunt and feels like she's hogging up Dylan, which is kind of crazy because she's an old lady on oxygen. She just wanted to talk to the guy. If somebody coming to my house, I want to know who they are. Let me have a little conversation with them for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then they could leave. You know, you could do what you do. He's out of jail. You can have it for a long time. So she gets upset. She goes and said, "Oh, I don't feel good." And it's like, okay, lay down in the room. She gets mad. I think they leave. She's driving all crazy. Then his parole officer came to Aunt Diane's house. They had to go back to the house. Luckily, the parole officer was not, I'm saying parole officer. Is it probation officer? Well, the officer was nice enough to not take Dylan back to jail. So then the next episode, we see that they had to go to the driver's license place. So they have to go to the driver's license place. Heather was taking forever to put makeup on. I don't know what makeup she was putting on because she didn't even look that cute anyways. I don't want to waste this time. They get there. They're not taking any more written or driving tests. Basically, no more people can come in. So Dylan says, "Oh, it's because of the makeup, but I'm joking. Oh, Heather gets mad. Get in the car, Dylan. She's yelling at him. They leave. She goes down a one-way street and yada, yada, yada. And, you know, they get to a spot. I think he said he was able to pull the key out the ignition and put the car in park, something along those lines. And he got out the car and she told him, get out. She didn't want to get out herself. Tells him she never wants to see him again. She's cursing at him. And that was that. He calls up his mom. He meets with his mom and another family member. Dylan meets up with his mommy. Then we find out that he found a job doing solar panels, I guess, and that he has his own place. And him and Heather haven't spoken in so long. Now, when we see Heather, she makes it seem like Dylan did something wrong. They were only out together for 2 days, which is why we met Heather and Dylan towards the end of the season. And we didn't get to see much of them because it was just 2 days of footage of just crazy, psychotic behavior. I don't know why she's trying to make it seem like it was Dylan's fault. It can't be editing because you have to give off something for them to be able to take that piece and tie it with another piece. So if it was just one day of you acting crazy and then all the other days were fine, they wouldn't have been able to do that because it would have been the same outfit and we would have been like, wait, that's the same day that, you know, we saw last episode. But we see that it was 2 different days when you're acting crazy. So that was Heather and Dylan. I think I saw somewhere that Dylan is engaged now to another girl, a blonde. Heather is, I guess, trying to out Dylan. I don't know why, because the season's over. We only saw you guys for like 4 episodes. Nothing that serious. You really are psychotic if you really want to make this a big deal when the show's already over and just move on with your life. So I wish Dylan luck and I hope Heather gets help. So that was Heather and Dylan. The next couple is Blue Suit. I can't remember his name. Tyrique? I think his name is Tyrique. I can remember from their stories that he went to go pick her up from the jailhouse. She never came outside. So he had to go meet her up at a train station. He was wearing his blue suit. He gave her a backpack of clothes. She changed in the bathroom, the stinky, dirty ass bathroom. She was about to leave, and he gave her, I think, $300. And then that was that. Never heard from her again. So the producers were able to get Chandra to like, come on, bro, just like give us one last shebang, we'll leave you alone. We see her watering these plants. Oh, I shouldn't have done that to him. I feel so bad. It's just the blue suit. When I saw the blue suit, I didn't like it. But you could have told him, you know. So they had her call him, and he got mad, hung up the phone in her face, and said, nah, I don't want to be friends. Don't tell people can we just be friends if you know you don't want to be their friend. You don't want to be his friend, Chandra. I hope I'm saying her name right. But she already said that she had a lot of, I want to say a lot of Johns. I don't know why I want to say that. I think it's probably from an old urban book I probably read. Or something I've been watching. But she has a lot of guys that were taking care of her. So she didn't care. I was just one of them. She didn't really care. We see Tyrique. Tyrese and Shonda. It's getting dark on her up. We barely saw them. But yeah, she moved on. Tyrese went on a date with this little old lady. More so of his age range. Shonda and Tyrese are done. Tyrese meets this new older lady. More so of his steezo. And he has said that, you know, what's going to happen after this date, right? That's pervert behavior. You don't tell me after the date, do I know what's about to go down? Yucky. I don't know if Tyrese and that older woman are still together or not, but to everyone, I wish you luck. That was Tyrese and Shonda. Quaylin and Chevelle. Chevelle met Quaylin, I think 2 years ago. Chevelle has a daughter named Maila. Chevelle did what all typical sad mothers do. Oh my God, I shouldn't have said that. A man you barely know. A man you haven't met yet. A man that you don't really know. Except for over the phone and going to see him at the jailhouse. You have your daughter speak to him and put in her head that he's some sort of daddy figure to her. We don't know what happened with Maila's father. Between Chevelle and him. And we don't know what's the relationship between Maila and her father, but we can guess that there is a non-existent relationship between Maila and her father. So Chevelle and Quaylin's mother goes to get Quaylin out of jail. He was in jail for 17 years. Either 17 years or when he was 17. One of them having to do with 17. So they go to pick him up. Chevelle's really like dismissive towards his mother, which I don't understand because that's his mom. She birthed him. You can't love someone more than their mother loves them. So to make it seem like you don't want them to be around their mother, you just want them to come home to you, the right thing would have been to allow Quaylin to spend time with his mother. He just got out of jail. You could tell him, okay, spend a couple hours with your mother, then come home to me. You could say, let's go on a dinner date together. I just think it would have been right to just, you know, maybe it would have been okay to do dinner and then say, you can go home with your mom tonight and then you could come see me tomorrow. But I think at least had given the respect that that's his mother and to not get in the way. But Chevelle was doing too much. She wanted Quaylin all to herself, and it was just not right. So when he gets out, she buys him a truck. We find out Quaylin doesn't even have a driver's license yet, but she bought him a truck. What else did she buy him? I think she probably bought him the regular stuff, clothes, shoes, jewelry, whatever. But her cousin was doing too much. I understand wanting to protect Chevelle, but he was a little too harsh. And given that Quaylin had just gotten out of jail and the vibes that Chevelle's cousin was given, I didn't like it. It made me uncomfortable because that man just got out of jail and you giving him this heat and he could have snapped. I don't like that. I didn't like how her cousin was acting. So yeah, the mothers have a spat out with each other. They disagree. They weren't feeling one another. And that causes an issue. Quaylon wants to go spend some time with his mom. Chevelle doesn't like that. She doesn't want him to leave. And the one thing that irritates me, she keeps saying, alluding to, well, when you were in jail, you were saying this was going to happen, and we were going to do this, and we were going to do that, and now that you're out of jail, it's a whole different conversation, and you're not acting the same, and now you want to do this, and you want to do that, and it's just like, what about me? What about Maila? I just don't like her storyline. I don't like the way she acts. How she uses her daughter as a pawn to a man who's not her daughter's father. How she uses so many things against Quaylon. Give Quaylon some time. Let him go be around his family. If he's really for you, he's going to come back. Maila, stop using Maila as a pawn. If you couldn't use Maila as a pawn to her birth father, what makes you think you use Maila as a pawn to Quaylon? What's wrong with you? You're crazy. I'm looking at you and you're 31 years old, and I can't understand for the life of me why you look the way you do. You act like his mother rather than his partner. You can't pressure or force your child upon somebody who's not the father. You're doing too much, and I hate it. I dislike it. You were doing too much, Chevelle. I don't even want to keep going because I feel like I'm going to say some things I have no business saying. But Quaylon goes back home to her. And I guess he's going to stay with her. But I don't know how I feel about that, because I know he wants to stay with her because she held him down. But Chevelle just acts like a grandmother. She acts like an old woman. She don't act like a young woman. She doesn't have enough swag on her. She carries herself like she's 45. She's using her child as a pawn. She's desperate for Quaylon. That's why she brought him the truck. That's why she don't want him to go around his family. That's why she's using Maila, because she's desperate. Anyways, Lindsay and Scott. Lindsay is a deranged woman. Lindsay acts like a child. Lindsay creeps me out. That temper tantrum she threw when she got into John Scott's. The temper tantrum she threw when she got to Scott's house. The house isn't done, and she had like don't touch me. She tried to do the do in the tub. The ankle monitor went off. She sees her daughter through the door, which is cute. But I don't like people who use their kid and say so much stuff, but you didn't care about your kid because when you were in jail or in prison. So why are you acting like you care so much about your kid now? Scott's lip bugs me. But hey, it would have been funnier if I had started reviewing the show from the first episode, but I'm doing a whole season-wide review. Lindsay. Scott found something in her notebook, and she said that it's from what did she say? It's a poem, or it's from a story. Lindsay, Scott ain't dumb. He act dumb, but he ain't dumb. You came up with the plan. Then on the second to last episode, we see a homegirl of hers comes. Turns out they're lovers. Child. Ugh. Good luck to Scott and Lindsay. She ain't gonna stay with them. I feel bad for Scott. R.I.P. to his son. Because he had a son and he lost his son. But Lindsay, hot mess. So, be gone. The next couple is Shawn and Christiana. Shawn and Christiana. John said he's Indian. John been married a few times. John got all these kids. John's been to jail himself. John did something around the lines of fraud, but he likes Christiana. And I remember she was like, I can't wait to S your D. I was like, oh my God. But he goes to pick up Christiana. They have a little chat on how this little wedding. And then they need to consummate the marriage. They didn't have enough time because she has to go to the halfway house. Christiana goes to the halfway house. Christiana says this is a halfway house she's been to before that she has relapsed at. She knows these people. They're drug dealers, drug users. And you kind of get the vibe like, why would they send her somewhere that's triggering? They're trying to keep her in the system. And of course, she relapses and she escapes. John goes to pick her up, and we meet her mom and her sister. Her sister said she was going to call the cops if Christiana didn't go back to jail the next day. They live with John now. He already got his daughter living in the house, and Christiana's sister is either a meth head or I think it's meth. She's a meth head. The mother speaks through a tube, I think. But she escaped. They do, but she has to go back to jail. That's sad. I really wanted to see more of Christiana because, we didn't get to see a lot before she had to go back to jail. But I hope her and wish her the best, and I hope she does good and she does better. And John, I wish you luck with them people up in your house. And I think we're down to the last couple, Shawn and Destiny. Oh, gotta go back home. Destiny. We found out Destiny got girlfriends in jail. Destiny has tattoos of other women's names on her body. Destiny is ready to go. Destiny's a badass. She had cut off an ankle monitor and mailed it back to the jail. Shawn has 6 kids with Kelly. Never married Kelly, but wants to marry Destiny. I think he did a bill for Destiny that was gonna probably cost him $50,000 if she didn't go to the court. And he has 6 kids. Whatever. So she gets released. The first night she gets out, she wants to go drinking and partying or whatever. He keeps getting on her about you have to go to the court. You have to go to the court. This is $50,000 and yada yada yada. But you already knew it was $50,000 before, Shawn. Why are you acting like this is brand new information now? So they go to Orland, find out that she's probably facing jail time because of the fact that she escaped jail, or she escaped the ankle monitor, took it off, and sent it back. Basically, I guess, breaking probation, if I'm saying that right. He proposes to her right there, 10 minutes after she finds out the news. She was like, dude, really right now? Like, that's not what I want to hear right now. Okay, dude, whatever. Dude, that's her whole thing. Dude. Let's not forget the fact that she tried to pick up somebody at a store, an employee, to smash when Shawn's card declined. Let's talk about the fact that Shawn came home after she smacked the dog crap out of him and was like, Destiny. And she was in the jacuzzi. And very nastily much they was doing a dude. Ew. I don't want to think about that. That's nasty. She said that Shawn was the first man in a long time she slept with, which of course, because she was in jail. All she was around was females. What else? Shawn's just a dummy. You have money to go buy a ring for a woman, but you got 6 kids you gotta worry about. I hope you save up money for each of your kids and have them have their own separate accounts, because Destiny swiping your card left and right. She's not thinking about your kids. She's thinking about herself. She doesn't care. And I hope you're thinking, he doesn't think, what am I talking about? I liked his homeboy, his friend. He was funny. And his wife. But let's see, what did they end up with? He proposed to her, and Kelly and Destiny got into it. But I feel like if Destiny was going to do something to Kelly, she should have then done it. Because you talking all this rah, rah, rah. Oh, I'll beat her ass. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Why talk all that mad crap if you're not going to do anything? Because Kelly was ready. Kelly didn't care. Kelly wasn't backing down. Kelly was ready to go. You want to fight? Let's do this. But of course, she didn't have nothing to say. Acted like she was going to do something. I don't respect Shawn at all. He's disgusting. You have 6 kids with this woman. And you're saying that you're going to let Destiny beat up Kelly? Oh, well, I'm with her now. So he gives me Forrest Gump vibes. Shawn is Forrest Gump in the flesh. There's a fictional character called Forrest Gump. Shawn is the real life equivalent of that fictional character, Forrest Gump. He's just, ugh. First season of watching Love After Lockup. It was really nice. I think I covered everyone because there was actually 6 couples. So I talked about Shawn and Destiny. I talked about John and Christiana. I talked about, who's that one couple? I almost forgot. Scott and Lindsay. I talked about Tyrique and Shonda. I talked about Heather and Dylan. And I talked about season 3, episodes 1 through whatever, review for Love After Lockup. I really enjoyed it. It was my first time watching Love After Lockup. It had me cracking up. I love to see it, and I can't wait for the next season. There's going to be another Life After Lockup, but I never watched and watched Love After Lockup to be able to know these people from the beginning. But I know season 3 people from the beginning, so if they ever do an extension of season 3 of Love After Lockup, I'll be able to catch up with that. We'll see what happens, but thank you for watching. Please like the video, comment below. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, bye bye.
Thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel to show it some love. And until next time, you guys stay safe. Thank you.